Today's cardinal lesson is about Social Security, and it's a decision that all of us need to make at some point in our 60s as to when are we going to start our Social Security. And when we're preparing for this thing, we're looking, I got up here, there are 96 different dates, and for you math wizards, if you really want to get technical, I think there's 97. So it means that when you turn 62, the month you turn 62, you could start at the first of the month, or whatever your month is according to your birthday, that month. And then you could not do it then, you could decide to do it next month. And then the next month, and the next month, and every single month, all the way till you're 70. So for those of you that are going to start doing it, that really would like to go through this, you can make this decision. You can only make the decision to take it one time, but you can make the decision not to take it 96 times, and then you'll be starting it at age 70. So what are you going through that? A lot of misconceptions that people think there's only certain dates, like it's either this date, that date, or it's either 62, 66 and 4 months, or 70. Those are my three choices. Which one is best? It's not accurate. You can start, like I'm 63 tomorrow. So I could have started my Social Security last month, this month. I could start in September. Personally, I think I'm going to wait till I'm 70 because that's when I'm going to get the largest check. And then I also, thinking about my wife, who hasn't worked a lot since we were married and had children, and so she's going to be filing under the spousal benefit on mine, which is a fairly large check. She's going to be getting a check, or we're both going to be receiving it. She's going to get the spousal benefit off of mine, and then I'm going to get my full benefit. And we're going to wait till 70, so those numbers are the largest. But the real reason I'm waiting till 70 is if I were to pass away in my 70s, say for instance, and then she lives on to 100 or something, she's going to live on with my check. And hers is going to go away. And if the same were true in reverse, if she passed away first, and then I were to live on for quite a while, her check is going to go away. Either one, the first one dies, the smaller check goes away. So in my case, because I don't really need the money while I'm in my 60s, I'm still doing this and plan to do this. Now, things could change, but that's the plan right now, is I'm going to wait till I'm 70 a lot, not just because I think I'm going to live to 90 or 95, which is a possibility, but it's probably not real likely. But I think there's a good chance that she's going to live on, and we're going to be doing it on a smaller household income because her check will be gone. So I want my check to be as large as it could possibly be for the benefit of my spouse. Okay? So the point on this whole video is that people, in my experience, and most of my experience and research is anecdotal. I don't run statistics on these things, but a lot of people come into us about Medicare and Medicare insurance, and then they find out that we're financial planners, and they end up hiring us to do a financial plan and a retirement plan, because they're doing this at 65, and they want our help planning out the next however many years, maybe 30, 35 years, planning out their money so they can have an enjoyable and comfortable retirement, and then planning out their estate so when they pass away, their stuff is distributed the way they want it distributed. So we do a lot of things here at Cardinal, and we do a lot of retirement planning for people, and Social Security is the underpinning of all your retirement planning. I mean, it's the first check that comes in that you know you're going to get. Everybody gets it, and you have to make a decision, if you haven't already done so, as to when you're going to start yours. And I'm going to tell you from my experience is people make this decision typically without the best information. In other words, a lot of times it's only one of these factors that they consider, and a lot of them will come into me with a bias. It's like, I'm going to start my Social Security and I'm going to wait till I'm 70 because. Or I'm going to start my Social Security at full retirement age and I'm going to do it because. I've already started my Social Security. I'm going to start it early because. And a lot of times the because with that is I think the government's going to run out of money, and every check I can get before that happens is a check is money that would have been lost. And, in another video I talk about the amount of money that's in the Social Security Trust Fund, and I'm not going to get into a debate about that in this video. I just want to show that from my experience and in our planning that we do serving people, we look at 7 things that are all different for different people. So there is no one right age for everybody. If there was, they wouldn't give you 96 different dates when you could start it. So there's each of us, and each of you listening, if you haven't started your Social Security already, you can pick any date you want. Secondly, once you pick that date, that's the amount of money you're going to get, and that's going to come in for the rest of your life. I mean, that's pretty cool, actually. If you live up into your 90s, you're going to collect a lot more from the Social Security system than you paid in, and you're going to certainly collect a lot more than somebody who never made it to your age now, or somebody that starts their Social Security and they pass away at 70. So that's the whole idea of the Social Security Fund, is to just provide protection to seniors, that they have a monthly check that they can count on. It also has inflation on it, and inflation's been relatively low for the past 10 years. It's kind of heating back up now, and you'll probably see that next year people are probably going to get a little better kick in their Social Security check than they've been getting, and that goes on. So this is a decision that's really important, and I don't want people to take it lightly, and we're going to look at these 7 things. And the first one that's up here is, how old are you, and what month and what year are you going to start this thing? And as I just went through, for a lot of people, this is the only thing they look at it, and they don't really look at it deeply enough. So that's going to be a factor. Now, the next thing is this concept of full retirement age. What is that for you? And it used to be 65 way back when Social Security was started. And in the 80s, to solidify the trust fund and to solidify the financial, just integrity of the whole program, they moved it from 65 to 67. And for the people retiring right now, it's like 66 and 4 months. Or the people that are 66, it's 66 and 4 months. For me, I was born in 1958, it's 66 and 8 months. And for the people just a little bit younger than me, it's 67. And then it'll stay at 67 till the next time they change it. So it's a bit of a moving target, but it is one of these 96 dates, and it has some merit to it. It's called full retirement age. And so a lot of people are trying to make this easy. They're just going to say, that's when I'm going to retire. Because Social Security said, that's my full retirement age. I want my full retirement, so I'm going to take it at 66 and 8 months. Well, that could have validity, but now you're just looking at one thing and one of the 7 things and ignoring some things that may be unique to you. And the real significance of that is that's the date where you can earn as much money as you want besides your Social Security check from a job and still get your full Social Security check. So in other words, when I reach 66 and 8 months, I could say, start my Social Security check. I'd collect it. Looks to me like that'd be about $3,500 a month. And I could still be making all the income that I make from doing this, and which is pretty significant. And then I would not have to give any of my Social Security back. So that's one of the significant things of full retirement age. And you actually, when they send you the statement, that's the number that they tell you, this is what your Social Security check would be. So you need to know what that is for you, and it needs to be a consideration. If you took it before full retirement age, if I took it before at like 64, I would get not only a smaller check, but then I would have to give some of that back or all of it back based upon how much money I make off of my job. So you don't want to do that if you're still working or you're still working and making significant money. Now let's talk about spousal benefits. Many people have already made their decision about Social Security. They're already getting their check, And then they come in asking me about spousal benefits. Or they're saying, I've been told this, I've been told that. She's going to get this, he's going to get this. And I'm thinking that, man, you made your original Social Security decision. You already took it. And you're getting it. And you don't even know what he or she is eligible for. Wouldn't it have been nice if you would have learned all this before you made your election of your Social Security check? But that doesn't matter. You did what you did. So with spousal benefits is if your spouse has a significant earnings history on their own, then go ahead and make your decisions your own way and then let your spouse make their own decisions, because their decision and their timing is not dependent on your timing. But there's many people whose spouses took time out of their work years to maybe didn't work and raise children. There's people that have work histories where they were sick, or they did sabbaticals, or they went to school, or they just flat didn't, my wife plays a lot of tennis and has since our kids were small. And our kids are long gone, and she still plays a lot of tennis during the week. And it's wonderful. It's just what she does. She doesn't have much of an earnings history other than some work after college. And that is, when she takes Social Security, she's going to file on the spousal benefit of my earnings history, which is very significant, and it'll be more than on her earnings. But she can't do that until I file. So we have some people in reverse of this, and we're actually recommending to them that they start early because they're that much older than their spouse, and the younger spouse has the higher earning record, and in order for the one with the low earning record to be able to get their spousal benefit, the other one has to file. So, there's so many scenarios with this. You need to look at your spouse if you're married, or your ex-spouse or your deceased spouse, because there's benefits. You don't obviously have any control over when they file, but you could possibly get benefits from them, or you could be responsible for the benefits of your ex, and it would be probably in her interest and your children's interest and your interest to try to help her or him if you could do that. The retirement date, like many folks think that their retirement date is tied to the date that they start Social Security. In other words, they think when they retire, Social Security starts. Or they think in the negative, I can't start Social Security till I retire. And these two dates are not tied together. You can start your Social Security when you choose based upon all these factors, and then that doesn't have to be the same date as your retirement. It may be in your best interest to do that, but that's a choice that you have. Then we just get into the needed and desired income. This is a big one here, is when we're sitting down with people and doing planning, there are people that just need the income from Social Security to live. Well, then, to me, that just takes precedence over everything. I can run all kinds of numbers and show them the benefits of waiting. If you need the money, my philosophy on that is take it. So it could be that this number 5 here, and under the need category, just overshadows everything else, and we're going to go for it. Then you have the desired income. Now, that's where we got, so people have a desired income, and getting the Social Security check is part of fulfilling their desired income and taking it early. When we learn this from people and we really test them that they're grounded in this, then we're going to help them take it early. Life expectancy, okay? So that factors into this. If you start your Social Security, if you wait till 70, let's say I wait till 70, I didn't have a spouse, but I'm really in bad health, and I don't really have a life expectancy beyond, well, it's hard to predict, but I have a short life expectancy, let's put it that way. Well, it may be in my best interest to go ahead and file my Social Security at like 66 or 67 instead of 70, simply because I'm going to collect checks for all those years, and if I drop over dead at 72, well, I'm that much ahead of the system. And then, whether that matters to you or not, those kind of things don't concern me as like trying to get the most amount of money out of Social Security that I could. But to some people it does. So life expectancy and your spouse's life expectancy is a factor. And then this number 7 is taxes. This is a huge one for me because I just want to make something clear is Social Security, if you have nothing else besides your Social Security, you're going to pay no income taxes. So you could look at this another way, and I hope that's not your situation. But if you had no other sources of income, and you get your Social Security check, your spouse gets your Social Security check, you can have that money free and clear, which is the way a lot of people live that are over 65 in this country, is they live off of that, okay? Now, you can have a little bit of other income, and I could define in another video, I define what is a little bit, but you could have some other income that is going to have very low taxes and still pay no taxes on your Social Security. So it's important as we're doing retirement planning with Social Security to look at how much your check's going to be and how much it's going to be every year, and then look how much your other income is going to be and where that's coming from. Because if you can set up a Roth IRA or perhaps stuff some money in a life insurance policy that you can pull it out by the month and not show it as taxes, then you can have 2 sources of tax-free income. And that's the way I have my retirement set up. So, listen, I want you to make good choices around Social Security. I'm Hans Scheil, and I thank you for listening.